Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavanscha.
The mercy of our God brothers, God sisters, or the fellow Vaishnavas is our support in Krishna consciousness. When Srila Prabhupada would be sitting for Guru Puja, he would always give cookies to the little children. They did not know much philosophy at that small age. But Prabhupada just wanted some means to show his love and affection for them. And to this day, now those little children, some of them are 30 years old. But the highlight of their life was remembering that Prabhupada gave me cookies. And he showed such appreciation for them just because they took that cookie. Small gesture sustaining their spiritual lives. So whatever Srila Naranjan Maharaj said is just his way of giving me a cookie. I tried to show his love for me. Because the love amongst devotees is the means by which we can learn to love Krishna. If we cannot show our love for the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, it is impossible to show our love for Krishna. Because if we love Krishna, we must love those people who Krishna loves. And Krishna loves all his devotees. This is bhakti. Maharaj told a very nice story about Madhu. There's a similar story in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. With your permission, I will try to speak something from it. There's a village called Srikanda. It's just a few hours away from Navadvip. In Srikanda, there was a family of very, very great devotees. There was a devotee named Mukunda Sarakar. He was a Grihastha. And he was a medical doctor by profession. In fact, he was the doctor for the king. One time, the king was sitting on a high platform, and he was inquiring from his doctor, Mukunda, about some medical advice. At that time, one of the king's servants brought a peacock tail umbrella to shade the king from the sun. So Mukunda, when he saw the peacock feathers, he was remembering Krishna, who has a peacock feather in his hair. He became so much ecstatic thinking of Krishna that he fell unconscious. In this process, he fell way, way down off the raised platform. When the king saw this, he thought, perhaps he is dead. So the king came running down the steps to the ground and asked, Mukunda, are you all right? Are you all right? He said, yes, I am all right. He said, why you fell? All of a sudden, you just fell. Now, devotees never like to show their own glories. We find in the prayers of all great acharyas, they never say, I love Krishna. They're always praying, I have no love for Krishna. Begging for Vaishnava's mercy, please bless me so that some lifetime I can get love for Krishna. Srila Naranjan Maharaj sang this beautiful song by Narottam Das Thakur. He had attained a stage of love of Krishna, but yet he's praying, Patita pavana hetu tapa avatara Mosamo patita prabhu na paideyara. He's praying that my Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, you are Patita Pavan Avatar, you are the avatar who has come to deliver the most fallen. If you look and search throughout the world, you will find no one more fallen and degraded than me. Therefore, my claim to your mercy should be first. So devotees always consider themselves very humble. Thus, when Mukunda was asked by the king, why did you fall? He replied, because I have a disease called epilepsy. And sometimes I go to seizures and I fall unconscious. But the king, even though he was of the Muslim faith, he understood that actually Mukunda was a pure devotee who fell in ecstasy. In his heart, he was bowing down before Mukunda and said, you go home and take the day off. Mukunda, in his house, had a deity called Gopinath. And he worshipped that deity with such personal love and care. One day, he was called by the king for some important work. And he would not be able to be there to make the Rajbhog offering to the deity of Gopinath. So he asked his small child, whose name was Raghunandan, that you please make the offering. Raghunandan said, but I'm a child, I don't know making offerings. Father said, no, mother will make plates of bhoga, you bring it, and you just ask me to accept this bhoga, and he will accept it. So mother made plate. Little Raghunandan brought it. With great faith and devotion, he prayed, Gopinath, please eat this bhoga. And we know Krishna's body is Satchidananda. It is eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. The Brahma Samhita teaches us that any one of his limbs or senses can perform the function of any other. Krishna can eat with his eyes. He can hear with his hands. He's unlimited. He's inconceivable. He's achyuta. So, the Lord, according to his promise, that he accepts whatever is offered with devotion, he casts his merciful glance upon that food. And through that glance, he ate all the bhakti or devotion that is in that plate. The devotion in which it was cooked, the devotion in which it was prepared, the devotion in which it was offered. And he was fully satisfied. So Raghunandan, he looked and saw that this whole plate, which had now become Mahaprasad, was still full of food. In his own childlike faith, he began to speak to the deity. That I'm so fallen that you're not accepting my offering. Please, you should not go without food just because of my fallen condition. Please accept this offering. And then he began to weep and cry. My father told me to offer you lunch, and because I'm so fallen and don't know prayer properly, you are fasting. No, my child, I've already eaten. If you've eaten, why the food is still here? Because I have tasted the nectar of your devotion by my glance, and I've eaten everything by my glance, and this is Mahaprasad. But my Lord, I'm a child. I do not know this glance philosophy. Please eat. So the Lord, just to satisfy his devotee, personally walked down off the altar. And with his hand he picked up each preparation and put it in his mouth and ate it. And Raghunandan was watching the deity eating all the prasad. There was not a single particle on the plate. He was very happy. He was thinking, my father will be very happy. So he brought the plate up and gave it to his mother. His mother was wondering, why was my child on the altar so long time? She said, what happened to the prasad? He said, Gopinath ate it. So mother did not say anything. She waited till Mukunda Sarakar returned. Mukunda said, so, prasad is ready? Mataji said, there's no prasad today. Why is this? Ask your son. She was speaking to him. I don't know, our son is a very good soul, but maybe an animal went on the altar and ate it, or maybe he ate it. I don't know. So the Buddha said, Raghunandan, please come and sit next to me. please tell me honestly what happened to all the prasad that was offered to the deity. There wasn't anything left. Gopinath ate everything. Mukunda was shocked. He ate everything. At the beginning, he didn't eat anything. He started telling me all this philosophy about glancing. But then I began to cry. And I saw him. He picked it and ate everything. Mukunda Sarkar knew that his son was a very special devotee. So he said, I want you to make another offering. And he gave him a laddu. Does everyone know what is laddu? Every devotee knows what is laddu. It is a sweet ball. So he told Raghunandan, you offer this. And Mukunda was hiding and watching. Again he said, please Gopinath, eat this bhoga. And then Gopinath glanced and ate it. And then Raghunandan started to cry. And again Gopinath spoke to him and they had discussion. Father was listening and watching everything. Then finally Gopinath came down and ate a bite out of the laddu. And he left the rest because he said, I just ate everything a few minutes ago. I cannot finish everything. And that half laddu is still there in the temple over 400 years later. There you go. So Mukunda was very happy. His son was really a great devotee. And soon the word began to spread that Gopinath ate the food of Raghunandan. And this news was giving great ecstasy to Vaishnavas everywhere. Some distance from Srikanda is a village called Kanakulya Krishnanagar. So in that village, Kanakulya Krishnanagar, resided a very great devotee named Abhiram Thakur. He was very powerful Vaishnava, one of the most intimate associates of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He had unique devotional powers. He had a whip that was used for beating bulls. And this whip was named Jai Mangala. Anyone he whipped it with, that person would immediately, his heart would erupt with ecstatic love of Krishna. This was his preaching. Sometimes he would just whip people, and all of a sudden their tears would flow from their eyes, their limbs would tremble, and he'd go, Harimo, Harimo! He also had another special feature. That if he would bow down to a deity, if Krishna wasn't being worshipped properly in that deity, then the deity would crack. And if he would bow down to any stone, if it wasn't Shalagram Shila, he would crack it to hundreds of pieces. And he had another feature. He would bow down to Vaishnavas. If he bowed down to anyone, and there was even one drop of material desire in that person's heart, they would immediately die. Would you like to meet him? But if he whips you before he bows down to you, then it's very... So Abhiram heard that this little child Raghunandan, by his devotion, Gopinath personally came off the altar and ate all the food. He was so ecstatic to hear that. He thought, I will go to Srikanda immediately. I must offer my obeisances to that boy. So the news started spreading. Abhiram Thakur is coming to offer his obeisances to Raghunandan. When the news came to Mukunda and his wife, they were trembling in fear because he's our little son. He has so many desires. If Abhiram offers obeisances, he will kill our only child. We cannot allow this to happen. Meanwhile, the news was coming. Abhiram Thakur is closer. He's closer. He's closer. He's closer. He's closer. He's closer. He's just approaching Srikanda. Mukunda and his wife were thinking, what are we going to do? We have to save our child from this Vaishnava. We have to hide him somewhere so he's not found. So they had a plan. They brought him to a neighbor's house just outside of the village of Srikanda. And Abhiram came to their doorstep. They bowed down to Abhiram Thakur. Abhiram Thakur said, I have come to offer my obeisances to your son, Raghunandan. Where is he? They said, he's not home. Where is he? He took a trip outside of the village of Srikanda. So Abhiram Thakur went to a beautiful grove of trees. That place is still there today. And he sat under a tree chanting japa. Meanwhile, little Raghunandan was at this person's house. And he heard that the great famous Vaishnava Abhiram Thakur was in town. He had heard one of Nityananda Prabhu's favorite devotees. I must find him and offer obeisances to him. Raghunandan went searching for Abhiram. And he saw him sitting under a tree chanting japa. And Raghunandan, in great ecstasy, the small child came running. And he offered obeisances at the lotus feet of Abhiram Thakur. Then Abhiram Thakur, seeing Raghunandan, understood who he is. And he personally offered his prostrated obeisances at the feet of the small child. Raghunandan lived because he had not even a small trace of material desire in his heart. After they offered obeisances to each other, they both got up. Abhiram Thakur embraced Raghunandan. As they were both embracing each other, their limbs were trembling and they were soaking each other with tears. In their ecstasy, the holy names started just pouring out from their hearts. They were chanting in such ecstasy that naturally they began to dance. So it was just the two of them in the forest, dancing and chanting ecstatically for hours together. In fact, they were dancing in such ecstasy. The little child, Raghunandan, was wearing an ankle bracelet. And he was dancing so ecstatically that the ankle bracelet broke from his ankle. And it flew 7 kilometers away. You can understand what kind of dancing they were doing. And it fell into a lake. And to this day, Gaudiya Vaishnavas go to that lake and worship it. It is called Nupur Kund, the Kund of the ankle bracelet. About 2.5 years ago, we brought our devotees from Radha Gopinath Temple to this village called Srikanda. First we did the Navadvip Mandala Parikrama. There was about 600 or 700 devotees. Then we had about 15 buses. And we took the buses to Kanai Natashala, then to Ramakeli, where Lord Chaitanya met Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. Then we went to Ekachakra, the birthplace of Nityananda Prabhu. Then we passed through Katwa, the place Mahaprabhu took sannyas. We drove to Jajigram, we took prasad there, and that is the place of Srinivas Acharya. And in the evening we came to Srikanda. A very simple village. There wasn't even any electricity in the entire village. And we parked outside and we had Harinam Sankirtan procession with all our devotees playing mridangas and kartals and chanting very happily. And the entire village came out to greet us. Because they worship Harinam Sankirtan. And they all were standing. And first they had scented water. They're very poor people. But they had some water that was little scented. And they were sprinkling it on the dust in front of the road so the dust didn't rise into our faces. There were hundreds of people on both sides of the road, and as the Harinam Sankirtan party was passing, they all had arti paraphernalia, and they were offering arti to the Harinam Kirtan. Hundreds of little old ladies with blue lamps going like this, and others, as we were passing, they were fanning us with chandrams and peacock fans. And others were taking little flower petals and showering. These people are so simple and so poor, but so rich with devotion. Our devotees never saw such simplicity of love for the Harinam Sankirtan party. There's also a place in Srikanda where the brother of Mukunda Sarakar, his name was Narahari, he was one of Lord Chaitanya's most intimate associates. He also wrote some very important books. We sing about him during Gaurarti. Narahari Hari Kari Chamaradulaya. Narahari's fanning Lord Chaitanya with chamara. So this Narahari, many years later, he became the guru of Raghunandan. Many years after Lord Chaitanya left this world, Narahari left his body. So Raghunandan, for his disappearance day, invited all the great Vaishnavas to celebrate the disappearance day of his uncle and Diksha Guru, Narahari Sarakar. And afterward, Raghunandan sat all the great souls, great Vaishnavas, down to eat prasad. Then he took the plate of bhoga, or the plate that was offered to the deities actually, and then he brought it in to offer to his guru in his guru's samadhi. You know, a samadhi is the tomb under which the guru was buried. So he started praying. This is the first 1 year anniversary after the disappearance of his guru. He was praying for his guru to accept this offering. Raghunandan was praying with such devotion that right before his eyes, his beloved guru, who left this world a year before, appeared before him, sat down and started eating the food. Raghunandan was very happy. But listen to something else. He was thinking that all the great souls, they're sitting there waiting. Instead of sitting and watching his guru eating, he ran out to serve all the other devotees prasad. He knew my guru will be happier if I go out and serve the devotees than just sit and enjoy this great miracle for myself. So this is the essence of bhakti. To serve. In the Bible we read about Lord Jesus. During the Last Supper, he washed every devotee's feet. And because he wanted to show that if even I am servant of your God brothers, how much you should serve them. And Srila Prabhupada taught us that you can show your love for me by how you cooperate with one another. Guru is most pleased when we are serving his servants. Sometimes if we try to serve Guru very personally, we become very proud. I am better than others. But what pleases Guru most is to be the servant of the servant of the servant. This is the safest, most direct process of entering into the spiritual world. Naranjan Maharaj, such a dear devotee of Srila Prabhupada. I have no doubt in my heart that if I just try to serve him and assist him, then my beloved Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada will bestow his most affectionate blessings upon me. I never had the slightest intention to come to this part of the world. My home and my service is in India. And by my Guru Maharaj's mercy, I also have some service in the United States. The thought of coming to Ukraine never touched in the farthest reaches of my imagination. But Maharaj, he requested me again and again and again, will you please come to Ukraine? I want you to come to Ukraine. I said, what will I do in Ukraine? He said, you just give me your association. That is his humble way of saying, I will give you my association. So I came here only for that purpose, no other reason, just to be with a beloved God brother. But you can't just be without serving. So his service was that he wanted me to speak something to all of you. And through him I have met all of you. And due to your wonderful devotional qualities, all of you melted my heart. And you have conquered me by your wonderful devotional qualities. And now I cannot stop from coming to Ukraine to be with all of you.